What's up, everybody? Stray13 here from bandfromthevideostore.com. I just got back from a late night showing of Kick-Ass. Everybody knows how excited I have been about Kick-Ass. I'm a huge superhero fan, and just a huge fan of the Kick-Ass comic in general. And I'm gonna just give it to you straight about Kick-Ass, the movie. The hype was really high on this one, and do I think it completely delivered on the hype? No, it didn't deliver completely on the hype, and I'm going to tell you why. I really, really did enjoy the movie. I found it fun. I found it a great superhero movie, but here's the things that I'm gonna tell you that are wrong with it right now. Did not follow the comic after a certain point. Like, it literally, followed the comics up to, issue 3 or 4, and then it just was like... fuck issues 4 through 8. We don't need to know what really happened in the comic. They just kind of threw that out the window. Red Mist. There's a spoiler. There's sort of a huge twist involving Red Mist, and they flat out just ignore making it a twist, and they're just like, "Hey, viewer, blah blah blah," and it really pissed me off. Everybody knows how I didn't feel, how I don't like Big Daddy's costume. There's certain thing in this movie, you're kind of the movie's supposed to be based in some sort of reality. I know, what if an everyday person becomes a superhero, and we don't really get that after a certain point in this movie. There's this part in the movie where it's just so far-fetched, you're like, oh, okay, because, those things that they're using exist, and I think you're going to know what it is after you see this movie. Now that I got all my complaints out of the way, I'm going to tell you the things I liked. I did like the kid that played Kick-Ass. The little girl that played Hit Girl was amazing. Even though they didn't have Hit Girl doing a lot of the cool shit she was doing in the comic book, she still stole the show. I mean, the movie should have been called Hit Girl. As good as she was, and as good as her action scenes were, it should have just been Hit Girl's movie. Kick-Ass really just kind of hung back while she just stole the show. The villain in the movie, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. I really don't try to remember smaller names. He was pretty good as the main villain, and they made him a little bit more of a badass in the movie than he was in the comic. In the comic, he was just this Goomba that was a mafioso, and in this movie, he's kind of like a fucking, I guess, like a badass, ninja or something, and they made him a little more hardcore and a little harder to beat. They left it open for a sequel. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not going to tell you why or anything like that, but it's left completely open for a sequel. This movie was not Elektra, but it wasn't Dark Knight either. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. It's probably up there in my top 3 favorite comic book movies of all time. Number 1 being Dark Knight, I wasn't... I'm not going to say I was disappointed. Disappointed is such a strong word. I was more like let down. Let down by the movie. And being that they just completely ignored a lot of the things that made the Kick-Ass comic so good and so charming and everything. Well, that's it for right now. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm exhausted. I rented Defender earlier this week. Speaking of superhero movies, it's a Woody Harrelson movie where he plays a mentally ill man that thinks he's a superhero, and that wasn't very good either. So I'm just giving you that little mini review on this within a review. That's how good of a value I am. You can skip that. You're not really missing anything. This is Stray13 from Band from the Video Store. Check out bandfromthevideostore.com.